Okay, I got to play this. From the Hill, it says the mother of a transgender boy in Texas went viral this week after making an emotional plea to state lawmakers about a bill that would make it illegal for parents to provide gender-affirming healthcare, quotes around that, procedures for their children. Under the bill, parents aiding their transgender children in receiving medical care, including puberty suppressant drugs, medical procedures, and hormone replacement therapy, would be labeled abusers, and their actions would be considered a felony if the child is under the age of 18. Great law. But Amber Briggle, who's the mother of a quote-unquote trans boy, didn't like it. She spoke out during a legislative session, and this went viral. A lot of you go girl type of responses from the left. Let's listen to what she had to say.
Good afternoon. My name is Amber Briggle, and I am terrified to be here today. I'm terrified because I'm the parent of a transgender child, and I'm afraid that by speaking here today, my words will be used against me should SB 1646 or SB 1311 pass, and my sweet son, whom I love more than life itself, will be taken from me. But here I am. I want you to know how hard it is for me to be here today. Not only am I terrified for the future of my family, but I'm a small business owner with 2 children at home who are still going to public school 100% online. I have a million better things to do than be here today, like rebuilding my business and supervising my children's online learning and repairing the damage that occurred to my home when the electric grid failed. But this committee and the bill's authors somehow deems my son's private medical care more important than COVID relief for women-owned small businesses or making public schools safer or fixing ERCOT.
Okay, I want to stop it there for just 1 second. She has about 3.5 minutes. We're not going to play the whole thing. I'll have some mercy on you. But she has about 3.5 minutes to make her point, give her little speech. Now we're almost a half of the way into it, over a third of the way into it. And you notice what, like a minute, 15 seconds out of 3 minutes? I, me, my. This is all about her. She spent the first third at least talking about herself. That should tell you something for these parents. It's about them. Okay, this is not a coincidence. This is almost always the case when you listen to parents of quote unquote trans children and you hear them make their case. It's like mostly them, and then they'll throw in, and we'll get to this in a second, and then they'll throw in their concerns for their child. But the justification for how they're treating their child and the long-term effects on their child and the well-being of their child, that's really an afterthought. It's mostly about them. As far as her child goes, let's listen to what she has to say.
My son was 4 years old. He asked me if scientists could turn him into a boy. I didn't understand then that he was trans. I only knew that he wasn't like most girls his age and that something inside him was hurting. Like many of you, I thought he was asking for surgery, and I freaked out. But after doing research, I came to understand that gender affirmation surgery isn't done on minors, and that there is a whole array of medical options available for transgender youth, including hormone blockers, which are 100% reversible, are not new, and are clinically proven to save the lives of the trans children taking them.
Okay. None of that is true, by the way. It's all completely false. Now, it may be true that in most cases, the surgical mutilation is going to happen after they turn 18. But the conditioning and the brainwashing leading to that happens when they're young. So the fact that you're waiting until they turn 18 to actually do this thing that you've conditioned them for and brainwashed them into for all these years, that to me doesn't make me feel any better at all. But what you're doing before that is drugging them. Chemical castration before you get to the physical surgical castration. Again, doesn't make me feel much better about it. Doesn't make it any better. What she said about it's 100% totally reversible. That is BS. She does not know. nobody actually really knows the full long-term effects of this. Because we've never done it on anything approaching this scale ever before in history. This is a new thing. This generation of children, they are the guinea pig generation. We don't actually know. Before this, you have scattered cases here and there, but this, to this extent, we have not had a sample size. Put it this way. We haven't had a sample size big enough to really know yet what the long-term effects are. So all of these children with the totally reversible and safe puberty blockers, what impact is that going to have on them 20 years from now, 30 years from now? You don't really know. You don't. You just hope that it works out. And even if it doesn't, your child's long-term physical health and even short-term physical health is a side issue. That's not the primary thing for you. And then she says, when my child was 4 years old, he came to me and said, can scientists turn me into a girl? Or no, it was a girl who's a boy now, right? Identifying as a boy. Let me rephrase. It's a girl whose mother has identified her as a boy. Okay. So she says that when her daughter was 4, she said, can scientists turn me into a boy? This is a really easy thing to handle as a parent. It's not even a difficult situation. It's not. Okay? When your 4-year-old says something like that, very easy. I don't even want to hear. It goes too far for me when I hear conservatives sometimes say, well, it's at least we have to admit this is a difficult situation for parents. No, it's not. Especially not at that age. Now, you've got a 16-year-old who out of nowhere, and I've heard of cases like this, a 16-year-old out of nowhere comes home one day and says, I want to change genders. That's difficult. Of course, the response from the parent, you could never go along with it. But it's not a simple thing to solve. And it's going to take therapy. It's just that is difficult. That's painful as a parent. For a 4-year-old, though, not hard. I don't want to hear that it's hard. It's so hard, I didn't know what to do. He's 4. She's 4. You know what you say when the daughter says, can scientists change me into a boy? No, they can't. You're a girl, and that's a wonderful thing. Oh, but I think I'm a boy. It's okay. You're a girl. It's okay. Go run along and play. That's it. That's all you have to do. It is really that simple and that easy. Unless as a parent, you were waiting for something like that. Or maybe you planted those seeds in your child's head. Because this is Munchausen syndrome by proxy, and you are planting this gender dysphoria in the child's head for your own purposes. Because you want to parade your kid around like a prop and show the world how enlightened you are as parents. Listen, hit that subscribe button right now. Do it right now. I thank you for your compliance. It is somewhat appreciated.